Starseeds! So I am not a professional bread baker, but I can make a mean loaf of bread, and I'm so excited to share this recipe with you. So today we're gonna be learning how to make a no-knead, crusty artisan bread, okay? But before we get into the kitchen, don't forget to like and subscribe because Greg and I are here every single Wednesdays and Fridays giving you amazing, delicious plant-based recipes just for you. And also don't forget that every Sundays we are live streaming, so we hope to see you then and get to know you a little bit. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and let's get in the kitchen. So just like baking a cake, the first thing we're gonna do is combine all of our dry ingredients, okay? So starting with 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. This is unbleached and organic flour. And also we're adding in 2.5 cups of whole wheat flour. So this is a good mix of whole wheat and white flour. Also, we're going to be adding in a tablespoon of yeast. So this is the yeast that I'm using. It is instant yeast, dry instant yeast. So this is what you'd want to buy from the supermarket. And now we're going in with a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of salt. So I've got my whisk here and I'm just going to whisk everything until it's nicely combined together. Like so. So you just want to make sure that you whisk it well so that all the ingredients are combined and combined evenly. So I've got 600 milliliters of lukewarm water here. Now you don't want your water to be hot, otherwise it will kill the yeast. You want your water to be warm to the touch. So now we're gonna add to our water 3 tablespoons of agave nectar. If you're not vegan, you could also use honey here. So just going to mix that up. Now before we pour our wet ingredients into the dry, we want to make sure that the water is not too hot, okay? So just do a little check at this point. You want to put your finger in. Okay, that's perfect, nice and warm. So now we are going to pour the water and agave nectar mixture into the dough. So just poured about half of it for now. And now I'm just going to mix it up until it's all combined. And this won't make a nice textured dough, okay? What we want right now is a sticky sort of mess of a dough. But I'll show you that once all the water is incorporated, what it's going to look like. So I'm putting in the rest of the water. See, all the yeast is going to feed off of the sugar in the agave nectar. And what you want to do is keep mixing. I find using a spatula is helpful. And just keep mixing like so until you don't see any more of the flour. You want the flour to be mixed in well. So as you can see, the flour is now well incorporated into the dough. And it's quite a sticky dough. Look how sticky that is. That's what we want. So don't panic if it's like this. This is what it's supposed to look like. And now what we're gonna do is the easiest thing in the world. You're just gonna cover it up with either plastic wrap or a lid of some kind that won't let any air in. And you're gonna let it sit for about 18 or 20 hours. So it's been about 20 hours and you can see that this just looks like a bubbly mess. Look how sticky this is. You can see that it's all gassy and bubbly, and that's exactly what we want. That means that the dough is happy. And I'm going to show you guys what you need to do next. And oh, and also you're going to notice a very strong sort of yeasty smell, which is totally normal. So at this point, you just want to punch all the air out. And we are going to add a little bit of flour to this because it is really sticky. Oh, it smells very yeasty. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, I've got 2/3 of white flour here and I'm just gonna add it in slowly. Just gonna add it in slowly and sort of give it a little bit of a massage. It is quite sticky, but again, that's what we kind of want. So 2/3 of a cup of flour is enough. Just had to take my dough out of the bowl so that I could actually work with it freely. So what we're gonna do is add the rest of the flour. And we're gonna punch out the air like this. If you press it down, you're punching all the air out of the dough. And then we're just going to sort of fold in the sides and then fold it over itself. Just gonna do that one more time. We're just gonna stretch and fold in, stretch and fold in. You don't have to do this. You could just massage it any way you like, but this is what I like to do. Stretch and fold in and then fold it over on itself. And then it sort of forms into a ball, just like that. So at this point, you just want to scoop it up, place it back into your bowl or your pot. Just gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the surface so that it doesn't dry out. Like that. And now what's gonna happen is we're gonna let this proof once again for about 45 minutes to an hour. And we need to cover it up first. So let's cover it with a lid. So our dough has actually been proofing for an hour and 15 minutes and it has doubled in size. And you'll know that it's well proofed when you press on it and there's an indent, but it slowly sort of pops back. All right, so that means it's ready. And now what we're going to do is just add a little bit of flour. I've got a 1/4 cup here that I'm gonna be adding. And so I'm just going to turn this out on my countertop because I don't have a lot of room in this bowl. And what we're going to do is just sprinkle the rest of our flour. This is a 1/4 cup. And we are just going to do the same thing. So we're stretching it and we're folding it in, stretching it, folding it in, stretching it, folding it in, stretching it, folding it in, and then again on itself. All right? And this way, you can tell that the consistency is already starting to change and get nice and supple. All right, so this is our dough and it looks absolutely amazing. I can't wait to bake this. Okay, so this is the pan that we're gonna be baking it in. And what I'm gonna do right now is just flour the pan a bit, like so. And take some sesame seeds as well and just place them on the bottom of the pan. And then we are going to pick this guy up, seam down. So I'm also gonna add some sesame seeds on the top. This will add a nice flavor and texture as well. And then what we're going to do is just score the top of the bread. So I'm just going to do one line like that, another line like that. So this is going in the oven and we're gonna bake it at 200 degrees Celsius for 60 minutes. Okay, Starseeds, so this is our artisan bread that is so fragrant and I'm sure it is very delicious on the inside. I just wanted to bring to your attention one thing. Basically, when you're gonna bake it in the oven, please don't put it in this kind of pan like I did, because I'll show you the outcome, okay? This is my filled bread. You see how it cracked? It just didn't have room. It didn't have room. So please make sure that you bake it on a flat tray. It has to be a flat tray. So this is a very delicious and dense bread on the inside, and that's because we're using whole wheat flour as well as all-purpose flour. And it's quite nutritionally dense as well because we're using both kinds of flour. Also, the sesame seeds on top give it a nice crunch and a nice sort of flavor and texture. And it's just such a delicious bread. So this bread is so delicious. And from making this bread, I've actually been inspired to give you guys another recipe, and it's a sandwich recipe that's gonna be coming up next week. So if you did like this video, I hope you guys hit that like button and share this video with your loved ones, because sharing is caring. And also don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we are here every single Wednesdays and Fridays, as you know, providing you with plant-based recipes. So we'll see you guys next week.